Welcome to this explainer. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm speaking to you not just as a host, but really as a local storyteller, someone carrying the vibrant echoes of my ancestors. We're going to unpack the sweeping, totally epic history of a tiny archipelago right in the Arabian Gulf. It's geographically small, sure, but man, it has left a massive, indelible footprint on the globe. We're talking millennia of history here, tracing the steps of ancient merchants, pearl divers, and kings. Let's dive right in.
Welcome, traveler. Let me tell you the tale of an island built on sweet waters, pearls, and black gold. Close your eyes for just a second. I want you to imagine standing on the ancient, sun-baked shores of my ancestors. Feel that warm Gulf breeze coming off the water. See, today, we aren't just looking at dry dates on a timeline. We are going to live the journey of a deeply resilient people, seeing exactly how this small island became the beating heart of ancient trade, how it survived clashing empires, and how it completely reinvented itself over and over again.
All right, Chapter 1, the ancient Dilmun trade hub. So, Dilmun. This was an ancient, highly powerful trade civilization centered right here in Bahrain. Now, you're probably wondering, how does a tiny island become the commercial nexus of the entire Bronze Age world? Well, the secret was literally bubbling up right beneath their feet: Sweetwater Springs. In a region totally dominated by salty seas and just unforgiving deserts, Bahrain was quite literally an oasis. Our ancestors harnessed this geological miracle, turning a small patch of land into this bustling, cosmopolitan center. It was actually such a legendary place that ancient Sumerian texts often referred to it as a literal paradise, a place where sickness and death didn't even exist.
The way this worked perfectly illustrates what I like to call the ancient internet, or maybe the Bronze Age superhighway. Step 1, you have Mesopotamia, where all these goods, agriculture, and revolutionary ideas originate. Step 3 is the magnificent Indus Valley, the final destination. But right smack in the middle? Step 2, Dilmun, or modern-day Bahrain. We basically acted as the ultimate central server, the toll booth, the grand bazaar where the greatest empires of human history actually came to connect. Copper, timber, precious stones, pearls, they all flowed directly through the hands of Bahraini merchants. We were that vital, beating link, making ancient globalization possible. Moving on to Chapter 2, Crossroads of Empires. As the centuries rolled on, the known world expanded, and, well, the empires grew a lot hungrier. The global powers of the time quickly recognized exactly what those ancient Mesopotamians did: the unparalleled strategic value of our island's location. And let me tell you, surviving as a wealthy, strategically vital island is not easy. Navigating these major political transitions was tough. In 1521, the Portuguese arrived with heavy cannons, kicking off a period of occupation. They wanted total control of those lucrative Gulf trade routes, building these massive forts that you can actually still visit today. But the island's spirit? It couldn't be conquered indefinitely. Fast forward to 1783, which is a truly monumental year for us. The Khalifa dynasty took rule, driving out foreign occupiers and establishing the sovereign lineage that still leads Bahrain to this very day. Then, brilliantly navigating the ridiculously complex geopolitics of the 1800s, Bahrain signed protectorate treaties with the British to secure itself against aggressive regional threats. Our ancestors were really master diplomats, threading the needle through clashing empires to ensure the island's ultimate survival. Through all of those crazy political shifts, the backbone of our economy stayed exactly the same: the shimmering treasures of the sea. But what happens to an island when the pearls lose their luster? In the 1920s and 30s, the Japanese successfully introduced cultured pearls to the global market, and they were vastly cheaper and way easier to mass produce. Literally almost overnight, the global demand for natural, hand-dived Bahraini pearls just plummeted. So our story pivots dramatically right here. We shift from this golden age of pearl diving straight into an era of deep economic uncertainty and existential change.
Which brings us to Chapter 3, Pearl Diving to Black Gold. So, our ancestors had to adapt when everything they knew about their economy was flipped completely upside down. It was like two entirely different worlds colliding. First, think about the pre-1930s pearling economy. This was incredibly labor-intensive, grueling work. Men spent months at sea under the harsh sun, free-diving deep into the Gulf with nothing but a nose clip and a woven basket. Yet it was deeply traditional, community-driven, and honestly incredibly culturally unifying. The whole island basically breathed with the rhythm of the pearl fleets. Now, contrast that with the post-1932 oil economy. Suddenly, the economy becomes highly industrial. It's generating wealth on an absolutely unprecedented scale, rapidly modernizing and hyper-globalized. This transition was a profound, immediate shock to the system, forever altering both the social fabric and the physical skyline of our island.
1932. It might seem like just a random year, but it carries the entire weight of our modern destiny. 1932 was the momentous occasion when oil was officially struck in Bahrain. Actually, fun fact, Bahrain was the very first country on the Arab side of the Gulf to discover oil. And that single gusher didn't just replace the lost pearl industry, it violently and beautifully catapulted Bahrain straight into the 20th century. Modern schools, advanced hospitals, paved infrastructure, this black gold fueled a breathtaking, rapid metamorphosis of our entire society.
And that sets up Chapter 4, Independence and Modern Bahrain.
As history so often shows us, economic power eventually, inevitably transforms into sovereign political power. Then came 1971. The British Protectorate treaties from the 1800s formally came to an end, and this marks the defining milestone of full independence. This was the exact moment Bahrain stood fully on its own 2 feet, recognized globally as a sovereign, modern nation. No longer a protectorate, no longer just a vital way station for passing empires, but a proud, independent state directing its own epic narrative on the world stage.
So to summarize our island's incredible journey of survival, adaptation, and transformation, we started as Dilmun, the ancient trade superhighway connecting the ends of the Bronze Age world. We successfully navigated centuries of shifting empires, from the Portuguese to the British. For generations, our people were unified by the harsh yet beautiful tradition of pearl diving. Then we adapted and rapidly modernized following the monumental 1932 oil discovery. And finally, we achieved full sovereign independence in 1971. From an ancient commercial server to a modern economic powerhouse, Bahrain's ability to adapt is, without a doubt, its true greatest historical resource.
Which brings me to the end of our tale today. But I want to leave you with this. As the era of oil evolves globally, what is the next great resource to fuel Bahrain's epic journey? We've seen the magic of Sweetwater, we've seen the luster of natural pearls, and we've seen the immense power of black gold. You, the traveler, the focused learner, what do you think Bahrain's next bold chapter will look like in a post-oil world? Will it be tech, global finance, renewable energy? Whatever it is, if the history we just explored tells us anything, it's that this tiny island will adapt. It will continue to connect the world, and it will absolutely thrive. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.